Hello. All right. So I walked into Matthew Reed's trap. Managed to try to tell him what kind of tool he should make, and then he went ahead and told me to make a video of it. Now I didn't make a video of the whole process. That would have been pretty long and tedious because I wound up taking the long way around for most of this. So what I did and what had brought up the subject is these springs and how to get them off with their arbor. I mean, if you've done any clockwork as far as springs go, you realize that getting these springs off their arbor can be a bit of a challenge sometimes. And Matthew had just mentioned in passing that he should make a tool to remove the spring off of the arbor, and I had made a suggestion regarding the tool, and therefore walked into the trap of having to make the tool. So I had an idea to begin with, and it kind of worked out, but it's really a rough idea, and it turned out in a rough manner. So I started off with a round stock of brass. I'm not even sure the diameter of it. I think it's 3/8 of an inch. And it just happened to be what I had on hand. I suppose you could make a tool similar to this out of plate brass as well, or there are many different ways you could approach it. But I had thought, if I wanted to end up with something, well, this is what I wound up with as the end result. I wanted kind of a rounded end to it. But at the same time, I wanted a brass tool so it wouldn't mar the steel. But at the same time, I wanted hardened brass. So what I did is I took this round stock and I hammered it on my anvil to flatten it to begin with. Well, as you can see, one effort failed pretty terribly. I wound up hammering a little too enthusiastically and broke that one. So what I did, I hammered that flat, and then I started filing, and it took quite a bit more filing than I expected, but once I started on a project, tend to not quit very easily. So anyway, I filed this down yet. I filed a round, I don't know what to call this, a rounded section here on the base of it so that it would fit over the arbor like this. And then I also filed a notch here so it would fit around this detent here and go most of the way under the spring. Now I also wanted it to be able to be sloped there so it would lift the spring up and off that detent as I go in. It's still a very rough job, but I purposely didn't smooth this out like I could have to shine it up, because I expect that with it being as rough as it is, still just straight filed brass, it might actually grip the spring better than it might if it's completely mirror smooth. So anyway, I've tried this a few times and it has worked. I'll just give you a brief demonstration of what we're looking at here. So here I have the spring on its arbor still, and what I want to do is I want to look for the detent in there and work this tool in on the right side of the correct side of the arbor, and work it in there around the detent. Basically put it in as far as it'll go, and then kind of lift up and out, and off it pops. Basically what it did is it came in, lifted the spring up above that detent, and then any outward movement will just get it off that notch and remove the spring. Now, this is a very it almost failed there with as thin as these flanges wound up being. I would recommend, if somebody was going to try to make this tool, that you wouldn't file in quite as far with the flanges. And I am sure there are many other better ideas out there, but this is what I came up with, and it seems to work okay. I'll keep it for now, and I don't know, I might have a tool for a lifetime, we'll see. And I believe that's all I have for it. I'll post some material as far as photos go on Facebook and kind of let you see the process of it, and that's it.